There was something like deeply touching about, I mean, yeah, it's just relevant to my life right now. Um, um, and the sense I get, like within myself, is just that, like, what behind everything, there's a sense that I like destroyed innocence, that, um, that yeah, I left innocence. I know that can seem like a mental thing, but yeah, but it feels, I don't know. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. So what the questioner said was that it feels like they've destroyed innocence. So he's speaking from non-duality, and I don't know exactly what you mean by innocence, but Brian, but I assume you mean innocence as in non-duality, as in consciousness. But your
Yeah.
mind thinking about it and imagining it as a behavior and action that you've done, and a feeling that you had as a child where you were more innocent. But you cannot destroy innocence of what you are, the consciousness. It's the same consciousness as when you were a child and before, when you felt like you had the innocence. The consciousness doesn't change.
But I covered it up,
You think that you did that
you
because
know?
you exist, but who could possibly cover it up?
Hmm. I don't know if it just feels sad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
But you didn't cover it
to,
up, so that's where the remorse or the guilt comes from. Like, I'm assuming that you're relating it to the title, because there's an
yeah,
idea that you covered up beingness and presence, but you couldn't possibly cover it up. Who could cover it up?
I don't
It's
know,
an
like
idea
what?
of somebody, but are you a steady person? Who is this person which you're imagining yourself to be?
Like everything, sorry, I gotta compose myself. Everything I do in a way has been to cover this up. You
Mm,
know, it's an excuse. It's like the regret or shame or guilt, the fear, salt, yeah, to
yeah,
distract from the truth. I don't know, maybe I'm coming up with another distraction here, with all this, but I don't know. That's what it feels like.
yeah,
Like there's a love there in that innocence, and there's a love in your words, and there's like like a sadness that I couldn't hear them,
mm,
maybe, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. But the question I have is really just, it seems impossible for the human, really like impossible to come back to innocence, to come back to truth. It's, but my question is, how do you return seemingly to innocence, to freedom?
yeah.
You could come to the end of your rope a million times. Um, yeah, that's my question. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So Brian's asking how do you return to innocence when you feel like you've tried and you've done it like 1,000 times and yet it still keeps coming back apart that doesn't feel innocent. And I really understand and I hear that. And it sounds like there is grief and sadness, although that could be wrong, but I'm only
Yeah,
hearing. But so it's good to allow those feelings, not to try to cover it up with these teachings. So really allowing it. But
yeah,
But from the perspective of who you are, you've never once been lost. And so what Nisargadatta would say, he would say, keep bringing the attention back to beingness. So keep bringing it back to the personalized I am. And Ananta Mahima would say opposite, but it's the same thing, is to bring God close to you. So surround yourself with that which reminds you of God, with that which reminds you of beingness. And that's the two practices. And I know, Brian, even though you don't feel like it now, that's something that you've been doing. And yes, it
Yeah.
might feel like you've got to your end of your rope 1,000 times. And I really hear that, and I hear the sadness like in that, and the grief in that. And there's other things you can do to help get energies out of your body, but from a non-duality perspective, these are the two things which generally are recommended in non-duality. And all of it's about bringing about presence, encouraging what you are as this.
Yeah. I mean, I keep reminding myself of what you've said, like coming back to the I am, and it's like I don't know if I'm doing that or not. Um, it's it seems to be like a thought, and then there's like an attempting, but like for the human, that's sort of like it just seems kind of futile because it can't. I mean, I don't know if it can.
Yeah. Because a human can't
Mm.
bring themselves back to presence because presence is there prior to the human. So it would be, it's a practice that the person does to settle itself. And
Hmm.
then through settling itself, something else takes over. So Nisargadatta Maharaj would say, you present yourself to the personalized I am, and they're like a gateway to the impersonal I am, which is beingness. So you present yourself to the personal consciousness, and then it's like a gateway or a
Hmm.
bridge to the big consciousness. But when that happens, it's God's will. It's not something you can do. What you can
Yeah.
do on the human level is keep
Mm.
presenting yourself. And I know that that can be really hard and really painful.
It's okay. What else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
This
always
is
body work. That's the other, rather than the flexible mind, there's the body work, the flexible body that profoundly changes the way you think.
yeah. I mean, I'm doing a daily yoga practice, which actually I probably wouldn't have done. I heard you talk about it and I was like, okay, I'll try it. And it was actually very relaxing so far. So it's been helping. And then yeah, whatever. But I don't know. It's all right. It's nice to come on here and even if there's not the perfect presentation or whatever. Yeah, I just felt to come on and say this. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is really intense subject. It's yeah, really challenging everything that we are and know.